Thanks for coming out today. We are Lindsey and Seth from Philly Survivor Support Collective, also known as PSSC. PSSC is a small collective that primarily works one-on-one with survivors of sexual assault. In 2010, members from Philly Stands Up identified a need for survivor support work. Over the course of many months, a group of about 9 people laid the groundwork for PSSC. We have been a predominantly queer and trans space for most of our history. We are politically, intellectually, and emotionally inspired by prison abolition, transformative justice, and anti-violence movements. Our work is informed by Generation 5, Insight, Ubuntu, and Critical Resistance. These groups and many others develop the language and some of the practices we use. Since 2010, we have supported survivors, written zines, facilitated workshops, worked with groups and organizations to become more survivor-centered, worked with people who have caused harm, mediated conversations, and answered a lot of emails. We strive to create and maintain systems of support for survivors of sexual assault and abuse in directing their own healing. We assist survivors seeking justice and safety outside of the criminal legal system. We also work to transform our communities to end sexualized violence. Now Seth is going to read our points of unity.
Hello everybody, I'm just going to read the points of unity and what we do directly from our website, and you can find that by searching for Philly Survivor Support Collective on the internet, and it's a WordPress page. We believe that survivors are the authority on their own experience in the face of a society that tries to discredit and interrogate them. We believe that sexual assault harms entire communities. It is everybody's responsibility to take sexual assault seriously and to work to change the conditions that allow it to happen. We believe that sexual assault expresses and reinforces other sources of violence in our communities. And we believe that the criminal legal system is violent and harmful, including to survivors. Our collective supports anyone who identifies as a survivor of sexual assault, anyone who is supporting a survivor, and anyone who is questioning whether or not they have been sexually assaulted. We support survivors' self-determination in their own healing process, namely by asking survivors what they need in order to feel safe and advocate for those needs. We support survivors in seeking accountability and working to transform their communities. We do not act to strengthen or aid the legal system. Lastly, we are committed to ongoing education and action that challenges systems of power and oppression.
We live in a culture built on violence. Historically and in the present, sexualized violence reinforces systems of oppression and exploitation in our country. Through the capitalist mindset of personal responsibility, we come to believe that we are meant to solve our problems by ourselves and that asking for support is weak. Healing from trauma is a collective act of resistance against the conditions that made traumatization possible. Ending violence and sexual assault is a collective responsibility. We want to encourage everyone who has capacity to learn how do we support people. Go to free workshops. Find zines and trainings online or in a bookstore that share information about healing from trauma and supporting survivors of sexual assault. Make your friend groups, organizing spaces, clubs, and parties more survivor-centered. Have the courage to listen to and believe people when they talk about their trauma. Work with those around you to find solutions that prioritize survivors of trauma. Through collectively holding space for survivors, we can heal from and prevent sexualized violence. You can contact us at survivorsupport@riseup.org. Thank you.